video, we're working on a little green Onan Cummins generator that just doesn't want to start. Could it be the temperature outside, possibly? Maybe it has something to do with fuel pressure, or air intake, or the exhaust system. We're going to be doing all sorts of tests trying to figure out what the heck's going on here, and hopefully we can get it to start.
Hey guys, Josh with the Update channel, and today we're working on this bus. Now this bus has a C7 in it, a Cat engine. But that's not what I'm working on. I'm working on this guy. See, right here? That's an Onan Cummins generator, and it's not starting. It is also snowing, or some sort of white precipitation. Now, people often ask what happens to some of the trucks we work on. You see this truck right here? That's the Knock It Off one with a broken crankshaft. It's still here. It had 5 feet of snow on it last week. But luckily, it got a little warm the last couple days. Anyway, let's get to work.
So our yard's basically a sheet of ice from November to March, and in my toolbox video, people noticed I had these weird things on my feet. These are K1 ice cleats, and they're single band, so you can actually wrap them around and keep them on top of your foot when you're inside, and then when you go up on the ice, you can put them under your feet. They work really good. You don't slip. So here's what's going on.
So my hunch is we have, well, a fuel problem is what I suspect, because when I pulled the fuel filter off and replaced it, actually the old one had no part number on it, so it took a long time to find the correct one. It was not even half full. Now the pump, I checked it, it's energizing and it's pushing fuel, because when I had the fuel filter off, I tried to crank it and it pushed quite a bit of fuel out. So I know I'm getting fuel to the filter. That doesn't mean it's building enough pressure. It's a pretty simple system, because you get fuel in here, fuel goes into your filter, and then it goes directly into your pump. So we can test the fuel pressure, although I'm not sure what the specification is. That is a problem on working on Onan generators when you're a Cat mechanic. Now I did used to work on Cat generators for a long time, and multi-quip ones, but the other thing I suspect possible is the glow plugs are not working, and it's about 30 degrees, and you can tell it's big old chunks of snow. But anyway, let's test that our glow plugs work, and they're very simple. So if you push the stop button, glow plugs should energize, and I've got my test light hooked up, so they're working. That's simple enough. And they look like they've been replaced, actually. You can see them. Anyway, they're not painted green like the other ones. So glow plugs are working. Engine's rotating, cranking fine. This is your throttle position, basically. It's a Woodward speed controller, which is very common on generators. It's pulling it full fuel for cranking, so not sure. Maybe we're airlocked. Let's crack these lines and see what happens. Alright, so we're preheating. Not sure why, because we're going to just try and bleed these. But you can see the outer and the forward one, so 1 and 4 cylinder, I've cracked loose. I don't know how you're supposed to get to the center ones. They are super close together. I've even got this 12-point crow's foot. Still wouldn't fit between them. So let's see if we're getting fuel out of these. Stand back a little bit.
Do it! Do it!
There's an underwhelming amount of fuel coming out of those. Should have been spraying out. Got a little dribble here. That is not acceptable.
Major new development, folks. We have moved inside. There were no bays available before, that's why I was working outside for a while. But we're going to try and start it now and bleed this system out. Once we start getting fuel, we'll close the lines, and hopefully it just had a bad fuel filter and purge the air out, and we should be good to go. So we're starting to get fuel out now, you can see. Not a ton, but I think that's enough to where it should start to start.
We're ready to start.
Next thing we're going to do is crank her and see what happens. And before that, I was like, you know what, since the fuel filter's never been changed from what I could tell, let's check the air filter. Yeah, so I ordered a new air filter also. This is the old air filter, waiting on the new one, but I'm not going to run it without an air filter in it. So I knocked a bunch of the dirt out. We did get a new air filter, but that is the old one, just to see if it'll start and run. So Here we go. So she's running. I'm not sure when the last time it did run. It is not running that cleanly here. So I'm going to need to open the door here, or we're going to all asphyxiate, which is not a good thing to do. So once we got her started, I think what has happened is the fuel filter had never been changed. Didn't have air in it, or it did have a ton of air in it because it couldn't get fuel to the pump, and that's why it shut down. We'll let her run though and see what happens. Seems like our little generator is running pretty well. Now, I actually tried to work on this bus and generator last week, but there were some temperature problems, and this bus has a HUE engine for the main propulsion. So what was the temperature here last week? It was extremely cold, and HUE engines do not like the cold. Diesels don't in general, which gets us to this video's sponsor, which is Viver, and they make this little diesel heater. All it really needs is diesel fuel and 12 volts, and this is the HUE engine I was trying to warm up, and this sucker puts out some heat. Now, that little unit, which is surprisingly inexpensive, is taking that minus 10 degree air and putting it out about 140 degrees. Now, I was trying to warm up this bus engine with it. Not really meant for that, but I was giving it a try. All it needs is 12 volts and diesel fuel. And you see this steel tube? That's actually an exhaust pipe. So generally, think of this as a little generator. You don't want it in with you. You want to vent that fumes out, but it puts out a lot of heat. Be good for a tent, truck, or a cabin where you don't have 120 volts. Let's talk about some destruction of the week. This week's Destruction of the Week comes from Jerry, the Destruction of the Week champion, I would say. And he has a C7 Cat here, and it has some problems. That's a journal there, rod journal. The pistons have these weird kind of beach mark looking watermark things on them. Not sure what is going on with that. A lot of them, I don't know, maybe it's the picture that shows, but pretty much everything, all the pictures of this engine he sent me, the engine's destroyed. That's a cam bearing there. That appears to be a main bearing. Also pretty bad. I'm not sure if they just never changed their oil, folks, but definitely this engine's going to need some major repairs. Let's get back to work.
Pretty sure the fuel filter was the problem. It was plugged initially, and luckily I found that on the first day, got it replaced, but I believe since the priming pump or transfer pump is electric and it's low powered, not low powered, but doesn't produce a lot of pressure, it has a hard time getting air out of the system. So I believe the air was stuck in the fuel pump. We just needed to purge all the air out, and then it was good to go.
I lied.
So much for that. So got my air filter, replaced the air filter, so it's got new air filter in there. Ran it for about 5 minutes after replacing the air filter, and then I noticed it started to drop in RPM, and of course generators are supposed to run at a constant RPM, so here's what it's doing now. So it was running good, and then it just started losing RPM and then died. Wonder if we're sucking air, or we have a restriction somewhere else in the system. It's got to be fuel related, I'm assuming. The actuator's staying full fuel on. It's got a new air filter. There's no turbo or anything else. It's an extremely simple engine, so we're going to put a sight glass on it to see what we got.
So I've installed a clear line into the fuel pump inlet so we can see what the heck's going on. I've used my power probe here. If you've never used a power probe and you do electrical, I highly recommend it. You can apply 12 volts or ground, pretty much anything you want. You can also destroy stuff with it if you're sending 12 volts in an electrical system, but this is not a very sensitive electrical system with an ECM. So we're just turning on the fuel pump and seeing if it'll get really any fuel to it. So we've got the bleed line undone on the pump, so we're basically purging out any air that we can get out. So we're taking the ability of the pump to build pressure away because we've got the bleed line out, and it seems like it's pulling a good amount of fuel. A little bit of air, not a ton though from what I can see. So I believe we have a good fuel supply to the pump here. So next thing I wanted to do is measure how much pressure the pump is going to build. So now we're getting pretty technical here. Now, one of my previous videos I asked a few people like the shop noise, and most people said they do like the shop noise. Some people said they don't. So I think I'm going to keep it in for the most part, unless it's too loud, and then just kind of lower the volume on the shop noise. That's usually what I do anyway, but here's our setup. Let's see what'll happen. Building some fuel pressure. It's a low pressure pump, so it doesn't need to build 50 psi. From what I could find online, these are only supposed to build about between 2 and 4 psi. So it's getting right in there between 2 and 4 psi. Does that mean the pump is still good though? Well, it's building pressure. We'll talk about that later. So notice we're getting an air bubble here. I shouldn't say an air bubble, because there can actually be a lack of air. It's just a lack of fuel. Like in outer space, you wouldn't say there's an air bubble because there's no air there. It's just, there's nothing there. So I'm not sure if this is an air bubble or just lack of anything, if that makes sense. So, but it's definitely losing fuel to the pump though. You can see that. I'm going to shut it off before it dies. So about 2.5 psi. Now I've installed a vacuum gauge to see how much vacuum this pump is pulling into the pump itself. Now remember, this generator is kind of on the top of the bus, and of course the fuel tank is very low. Probably more than 5 feet difference between the highest point in this fuel line and the fuel pump itself. Or I should say the fuel tank itself. So it is pulling, or it's trying to pull fuel, but you can see it's not moving. It's just staying stationary. So what the heck's going on? So what I did is I got this vacuum brake bleeder that I use all the time. You can see it's holding pressure fine. We don't have any leaks on the pressure side. So what we're going to do is we're going to see, can we get a good amount of fuel out of the fuel line, or do we have some sort of restriction or big air leak? Now this gun, this vacuum gun, pulls vacuum very quickly. So as you can see, we're getting a lot of fuel out. Little bits of air, but small amounts of air is normal on engines. It's not ideal, but we're getting fuel and a little bit of air. It's going to look very aerated because it's under heavy vacuum, but we're getting a good amount of fuel. So it's not like this line is plugged off. I think our problem might actually be our fuel pump. It's able to build pressure, but I don't know if it's able to pull fuel on the suction side enough to make up the height difference between the fuel tank and the pump. And actually on pumps, the height difference is very important. So you can see it stopped pulling right here. And where are we at? We're about 4. So it needs more than 4 inches of mercury, which is a vacuum measurement, to pull fuel into our little electric transfer pump here. So even though the pump's building pressure, does it build enough vacuum? What we've got here is the engine. We're going to try and run it directly out of this fuel canister here. That's the fuel we pulled from the fuel line with our vacuum gun. So if it runs fine there, that means that basically we know that the line can supply fuel. However, the fuel pump, I don't believe, is pulling enough vacuum to be able to run the engine. So let's load this generator by turning the bus heater and lights on real quick and see if it keeps running. So lights and heater are on. It's running fine. So here's what I believe is happening. I believe the fuel filter has not changed and the pump has gotten weak over time. It's not able to pull fuel. It is able to build enough pressure to supply the fuel pump, but since the generator is so much higher than the fuel tank, this little fuel pump's not able to supply enough fuel to it. Now, a couple things you could do. You could move the fuel pump down in the system so that it's pushing up, or you could, what I'm going to do is replace the pump. Could be wrong, but I believe this is our problem. Now, the height difference on fluids is very important. So what's the difference? It's about 5 feet, I would say, from the fuel tank at least to that pump, which would mean 60 inches of water. Now it's fuel, not water, but would need about 4.5 inches of mercury vacuum to pull fuel to the pump. What do we got? We only got about 3.5. That's the max I could get out of the pump when it was running. So it's literally mathematically impossible for this fuel pump to supply pressure and suction adequately to supply the engine. So that's why I believe the fuel pump is the problem. Ordered it, haven't got the part yet. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.